Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode. In this one we're gonna learn how to use and create first and then use the currency system. And there's a small example here. Hello everybody, in this episode we're gonna create a currency system which we can use later on to create towers and also gain money. So an example here, we can gain 2, use 3, use 3, use 3, gain 2, use 3, use 3, and then when we don't have enough it says false width, which is correct, we can use 3 anymore. Let's jump ahead and see how it works. So as in every game you have something called currency. Actually mostly a lot of games, not every game. And then in tower defense games, currency is basically what buys you towers. And how to get the currency is the matter of game functions. A lot of the games you get currency from killing enemies, a lot of them you get it generated manually, others just passing the level, you have only one-time coins. But in this demo, or at least tutorial, we're gonna get money from actual towers. For example, we're gonna choose one tower that generates money over time. Just like the Plants vs Zombies, the sunflower planet, which gives basically suns. Okay, so for the currency I chose this image, which is also a coin, and I got it from Flat Icon website. You can get a lot of icons from that website. It's also free, but you gotta read the terms just in case. The first thing we need to do is we need to apply the UI. A previous episode we did the health system, which inhabited this small area. So the coins, I'm gonna put it, actually you know what, I'm gonna put it in here in the bottom. Never mind, I just put it on top. I don't want to modify other stuff. And there's a small thing I wanted forgot to mention in the previous episode is we've got this test sprite, which is it's not used anymore because the spawner system is not using it anymore. So you can just remove it from the script itself and delete the actual asset. Okay, so that's that. Let's create a panel, call it currency, or just call it currency. You can call it money, whatever you want, and it needs to be inhabiting this area. You know what? I really want to put it down here. Let's put it down here. Okay. So let's make the towers inhabit less area from the Y standard. So let's go with 15, I suppose. Oh no, 0, 0, exactly. So that's good, 15. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to make this here. Basically, not like this. So we get let's go with the anchors. So for the anchors, let's go first with the X, which is this X. So the minimum is 0, 1. So we're gonna go with the minimum 0 and the maximum probably this 0.2, 0, 0.2, yep. And for the Y, which is the bottom 0 anchor and the top maximum 1 anchor, we're gonna go from 0 to 1.5, 0, 1.5, sorry. So for Y, 0 to 0, 1.5. And then we 0 all the positions for the left, bottom, top, right. So we have this small area here, and you can see it's inhabiting the proper place. You see? Good. Let's put the icon first of the coin. We have it here. Let's put it left, 0.5, 0, 1, which is gonna be left 0, 0.5, 0, and 1. And as we did before, we preserve the aspect ratio, remove the clicking button. Let's make this 10, 10, 10, 10. So we can have a proper way of looking at stuff. I'm gonna call it here image, currency. And the next thing is we're gonna create the text. It's gonna showcase how much do we have. Let's use the same font, which is Life is Goofy. And how big was this here? Health? Let's just copy the elements as it is. So I'm going to call it text currency. See, we got this. Let's go right click on the component and then we go with paste component values. If we go with paste component as new, it's gonna create another element component in here, but we don't want, we just want to override this one, so we go with as values. Let's give it, 0 for now. And because this font is slightly more anchored upwards for the colors, for the numbers, we brought it down slightly by putting the top as 15. So let's go like here. Let's make this 15. And let's make the colors similar to this one. Let's see how it looks. If we go this and then make an outline. And make the outline brighter. No, I don't like it. Let's keep the outline dark and the inside bright. And let's make it fully... I don't know, what if we put it white or black? No, white. White with dark. Let's keep it like this. Let's keep it this one and black. I'm a bit torn in here. So if we have it this, let's make this darker. Yes, I think that's fine. That's okay. Let's save our scene, and I think we're finished from the UI. Let's go ahead and start creating the script. As I mentioned before from the previous episode, I'm going to create separate scripts for each element in the game, so it would be easier for you to use whatever you want. Let's call it currency system. Again, don't follow my exact naming convention. You can do whatever you want, but I like to be extra explicit. First of all, what we need as in fields, we need the currency text UI, which is going to be this one, and next thing we need default currency value, which is going to be used at the start of each level, and then we get current currency value. These are the fields. And for methods, we're going to have init method init set the default values. It's basically one value, but you might add other stuff. The next one is gain currency. For whatever manner you have, it's basically gain currency, and it's going to have input of value. And the other thing is lose currency, also needs an input of value. And an important one is check if availability of currency. This is important for the lose. So whenever you want to buy a tower, let's say, you need to check first, do I have that amount of money? If so, proceed. If not, it's false. And let's add one method called update text UI. This will update the actual visuals. Let's start with the first of all, let's import the UI library. Let's remove these two. Public text, let's call it text currency. I can't write properly. Currency. Next thing is called public integer default currency, right? And we've got the actual currency. You can call it current or something else, but I don't want to have a lot of curs. The first thing I need to make is public void init, and in this one we set the currency from this value. So we go currency equals default currency value, and then we update the UI. So I'm going to create this one here, update UI, and in here we're going to have text currency. I did not apply the same thing in the health system, but you can do it as well there. And I'm going to go currency.toString. So whenever we change the currency, we update the UI. So that's good for here. The next thing is public void gain, and let's go input as an integer. I'm going to call it value. So what this does is it increases the currency with the value that we've given. So this means add value to the currency. So it's appended, and then we update the UI. So that's good. Lose currency means let's call it let lose. Let's call it use. Okay. Let's go use input value. And for the sake of feedback, let's give this a boolean return. Let's say I wanna use like 10 currencies, right? 10 amount, but we have only 5. But I want to make sure that I get a response from an external script. So if you have enough money, you'll get true. If you don't, it gets false. And then when it gets false, you might want to show, for example, a pop-up or like a flickering of red stuff. So let's keep it like this. So first of all, we go ahead and we have to create this script in here. Let's create a script called boolean enough currency. If of course we have to insert the value first. If so, what we need to do is check if the currency is, or you know what, check if the value is equal or more than currency. What this means is, let's say for example we have to use 5 and then we got 6 in our hand, which means we can. So basically what this means, we have to check if value is bigger or equals to currency, return true, else, actually let's make it this way, else return false. So what this means is if it's equaling what we have right now or more, we can use them. Otherwise, if it's smaller, we cannot. So we go ahead here and we go if enough currency of value, we do whatever we want here, but if not, we go return false. And you can do this thing here. There's this is I think the simplest way. So if you have enough, we return true at the end, not at the start. And we just use it, right? So using means we have to decrease from whatever we have. So currency minus equals value, right? And then we update UI. I think this is everything that we need in here. So we first of all we set the values, and then the second thing is we either gain or use. So if we gain, we just increment the value, and when we update the UI. But if we want to use, we have to check, do we have enough? If yes or no. If yes, we decrease the values, and then just say yes and update the UI. Otherwise, you say no. Because we're gonna use this return value in a lot of places. For example, building the tower. If it returns false, we can build the tower. If it returns true, we build the tower, for example. Let's save this. Go back here. Let's let it load. So compilation finished. Let's enable the debug elements. I disabled this at the start, and then let's keep this in here. Actually, let's keep this on top, because it's related to the health. Let's make a duplicate of this, put it in the bottom, bring it up, go left. Let's call this gain currency. And the second one, use currency. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do in here is I'm gonna move this to the right side and change the naming. Let's call here gain, for example, 5. Okay, currency. Let's make it 2. Gain 2 currency, and then in here we're gonna go use 3 currency. Just give it more variations. And for the gain, we have to first of all, let's save our scene, drag and drop here. We need the text currency, of course, and it's in here in the panel of currency, and then text currency. Let's put the default as, for the time being, let's put it 10, alright? So let's drag the functions from in here, and it's in the scripts, go currency system, and then we gain 2 because we just decided it's gonna be 2. We go here again, the same button, we just change it from gain to use. Wait, did I make it private? Oh, I think I can't call up methods that has a return value. That's a bit confusing, huh? Okay, so what I'm gonna do in here is I'm gonna create a testing method, which I'm gonna delete at the end of the episode. Public void use test. So what this does, let's debug log use. Now we have 3, right? We have it as a 3. So what this is going to do is, whenever we call it, it's gonna debug the value of the boolean, which is it's either true or false. Let's save it, and then let's let it load. It's loaded. Good. Let's go here. Let's go use test. Let's save the scene, and before we start, we need to actually initiate the currency system. And as we did before in a game manager, we need to also call, I'm going to copy and paste this one because it's basically the same method. We get component and then currency system, and we call out the init, which is this one. Let me minimize this stuff so we have a review of all the stuff. Here we go. Let's save and play. Hopefully we have no problems. So here we go. We got 10 currencies. Let's say if I want to increase 2, it's become 12. Use 3. It gets false. Oh, what? Something is false. I think it's because of the oops, I pressed the wrong button. I think it's because of this. Oh, it's my bad. It should be less than equals. Equals and less. So that was a big problem here. So we have to check, do we have the exact amount? But if it's more than the amount, it returns false. Good, good, good. I'm sure some of you in the video has already, murmured like, no, it's wrong. But that's a good catch. It should be less as you assumed, and I forgot. So if we gain, that's good. If we use 3, it used 3, right? And now it says true because like we were able to use 3. Let's go again 3, and then gain 2, and then lose 3. We can see here it's 5, and then we go lose 3. We have 2. Let's clear this out. If we click this one, we're gonna have false, which is what happens here. False, we can't do anything. So we have to gain more to be able to use it. So that's a good representation of how we can reuse the currency system. Again, this debug elements are for testing only, so you can remove it when your game is in production. So as of now, this is the minimal usage of the currency system in our game, and we might improve it later on, but this is as far as I can see what we need from the game. And I hope you liked this episode and then you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like and subscribe. Also hit the bell button to get the latest updates. Also hit the comments below if you have any more questions or any problems you're facing. Also you can join our Discord if you get more in detail. And apart from this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.